All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give our praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the brother Great Mills on the time of the truth and rule well. Please, blessing and salutation, icon right there. Scatter the bars of the four-corner earth. That's serving the truth out of sincerity. To I say Shalom. This is Brother Nabala, continue another video in the spirit. And this is going to be just a quick video. We're just going to go into about how let the weak say I'm strong. And let's talk about these other nations, man. How these other nations are basically ready to get down, you know. As we can see, the Lord is mustering up the host of the battle, you know, and putting everything in order, you know, for World War III, you know. And things are being stirred up between the wars that's happening over there and overseas. You know, the main one between Israel and Palestine, you know. That's going to continue to happen, you know. Early over the summer, you seen Trump. He tried to do a ceasefire, and he said, I guess the day that they did the ceasefire, that night, he said that Israel, came out his mouth, he said Israel dropped a bomb on Palestine on the likes that he'd never seen before. And he said you got two countries that's been fighting for so long that they don't know what the F they're doing, you know. So that's the problem that's going on right now. You know, that's the problem at hand, you know, as people would say, you know, but it's going to be a continuous thing, you know, because this is all fulfillment of biblical prophecy, you know. When I just looked up, matter of fact, real quick, I looked up what's the cause of the Israel and Palestine war. And it says the current Israel-Palestine conflict is rooted Salakia, I think I got to sneeze, Salakia. You know, your nose itch. Salakia. It says the current Israel-Palestine conflict is rooted in a decades-long struggle over land and self-determination. The core causes include the late 19th century rise of Zionist and Arab nationalist movements, the 1948 establishment of Israel, and the displacement of Palestine's, the Nakba, and Israel's ongoing military occupation of Palestine's territories. Yeah. So it's over land, basically, you know, because, you know, we call them the 1948ers when they, you know, established themselves over there in the land, you know, to proclaim that they're the real ooze, but they're not, you know, the JOWs. You know, but they're not, you know, and it's all over land. But who's over there doing in the land? Amalek. And Amalek is what? A descendant of Esau, Edom. And that's Esau's spirit, man. You know, to go around, to take and to conquer. You know, I'm gonna grab that. But real quick, I'm gonna grab something that says, so let me grab this. I'm gonna tap on it, see if it'll blow up bigger for me. It's not really what I wanted. Oh, I'm going to just go back. But it says, what countries support Palestine against Israel? It says, among the G20 10 countries, Argentina, Brazil, China, Indonesia, Mexico, Russia, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, and Turkey, as well as permanent invitee Spain, have recognized Palestine as a state. So they recognize Palestine as a state. So they support Palestine, and you've seen China, Russia, two of the countries that have that military might is on the same level, if not way more advanced, you know, than America is. You know, then you have Mexico, you know, Russia, you have all these other countries, man, you know, that back Palestine. So we see where things are leading to. That's when you come over here to Jeremiah 50:45. It says, therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord, that he hath taken against Babylon and his purposes, that he hath purpose against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. Yeah. It says taking his Babylon. What is modern day Babylon? America, man. This is modern day Babylon. So the least of the flock shall draw them out. Who's the least of the flock? The people over there dwelling in the land of Israel, because Israel is backed by America. So as long as this war continues to keep happening between Israel and Palestine, it's going to get to the point where America is going to have to really get involved. And once America gets involved, then that's when these other countries are going to really, turn up and have all eyes on America, come up against this place. But let me grab this real quick. This is Habakkuk 2, and I'm going to start at 5 because it's all over land, You got Amalek over there, or descendants from Esau, basically trying to claim some land that's technically not theirs. So this is Habakkuk 2 and 5. It says, also because he transgresses by wine, he is a proud man, neither keeper at home, who enlarges his desire as hell, and as his death it cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations, and heap unto him all people. So transgresses by wine. What? By his philosophies, that America pushes. Is a proud man, neither keeper at home. They're not just satisfied with what they have going on. They want to heap up everything, So you had the 1948ers who then so-called established themselves in the land. And in Palestine, they basically want some claim. They basically are trying to make a claim for a land that Israel has. But Israel's trying to, say it's theirs and that they don't have no right to it, which neither one of them, over there have anything to do with the land over there. That land is for the true Israelites, man. But this is Edo, always trying to have some claim over some territory, man. Not being satisfied with what they have. Always want to gather up with them more and more. And like it says, together unto him all nations, heap up unto him all people. They want to have total control over everything, man. They don't have total control over people's country, how they run their country, how their money's spent, the trading, resource. They want to have control over everything, man. And that's over a time period where these nations are tired of it. Let me grab this. This is Jeremiah 51 and 7. It says, Babylon have been the golden cup in the Lord's hand, that have made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken her wine, therefore the nations are mad. These nations are mad. They're sick of this place, because they realize through dealing with this place, it's not done them any good, It's actually done them bad. When you look at their people, especially when we always use the example as a woman, because that's who America has mainly influenced, the woman. I've seen something, I think it was Saudi Arabia. It was one of the Middle Eastern countries. I can't remember. But I believe it was the president said that they're passing a law saying that women are not going to have to conform or be told how to dress or what to wear by a man. And this is all through America, because that's what America allows the woman to do over here. And that's the same philosophy that they try to push on these other nations of people, because they allow these women, specifically from these other nations, to come here, and men too, to come here and to live how you want to live, be part of that alphabet community. These women, that are from the Eastern way of living, dressing modestly. You can come over here, don't have to dress modestly, You don't have to be under subjection to no man. You can do what you want, fully rely on the government to take care of you. This is what America has pushed on the world, and now these nations are waking up to their senses, and they're ready to wage war against this place. It's just not time yet, because like the scriptures say, to everything there's a time and a season. There's more prophecies that have to be fulfilled before World War III fully pops off. But you can see we're getting real close, because you can see that a lot of these nations are moving away from dealing with America. That's why you have BRICS trying to come up with they just showed their currency, come up with their own currency where they don't have to deal with the American dollar no more. They can deal amongst themselves, man. So these are the times we're living in. Then you got American economies getting weak, and everyone sees it. But all economies around the world are failing. You know, any ties that these other countries have with America, they're failing, man. Because as America falls, these other countries, these other nations that have relied on their dealings with America are going to fall too. And a lot of these nations, like it says, that have been able to advance themselves are waking up to their senses, and now they realize that they've been getting the short end of the deal all this time. So that's why the nations are mad. So you come over here to Joel 3:9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare a war, wake up the mighty man. Let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I'm strong. Yeah, those are farming tools, man. So the Lord is changing the spirit of these nations, man. You know, but change your farming tools into instruments of war. You know, and where it's going to be used as the instruments of war, these ICBM missiles, man. These nukes, because a lot of countries have nukes now, and America is terrified of that. Because again, when you go back to Hiroshima, Nagasaki, I believe I said that right. You know, when they dropped, was a Fat Man and Little Boy? When they dropped that on them, all these nations were afraid because they never seen nothing like that before. You know, so they were afraid of this place. You know, they said, who can make war with the beast? Because of what they were able to do when they dropped that atomic B. But now these other nations have the same technology. You have other nations and countries that are well more advanced, you know, in their technology, in their weapons of war. And then they've been able to increase their economy, so they don't really have to deal with this. They used America, like, you know, that's why this place is called the whore. What you do with a whore, you use her. You use her. You get what you need. And when you done done your dealings with her, then you send her on your way. You get rid of her. And we're in a time now where these countries are ready to get rid of America, ready to get rid of this place, because they don't need it anymore. They don't need to deal with her anymore. So these are the times we're in. They're not in that fearful spirit they once was in of this place. Because if America wants to get down, they're able to get down with them. And then also these other countries, they're backed by bigger countries. A lot of countries are backed by China and Russia, man, who are major superpowers just like America, and have other allies as well. So, like it says, the Lord is mustering up the host of the battle. But all these other nations and countries are going to be aimed at America, because America is the sole reason that the state of the world that the state of the world is in now, because of the rulership of Esau Edom. So I'm gonna grab this. It's Isaiah 13:4. Yeah, it says, the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts mustered the host of the battle. Yeah, and that's what's going on. It says, they come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord, and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. Howl ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Yeah, the day of the Lord. That's the day that we're approaching. We're fastly approaching the day of the Lord, the day of Yahushua's return, man. Because when Yahushua gathers all these nations and put them in the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is Yahweh's judgment, which is going to take place over there in the Middle East. That's where World War III is going to take place. All these nations are going to be fighting against each other. And while they're fighting against each other, then Yahushua is going to return, man. And when Yahushua returns, what? All these nations are going to be afraid, but they're going to try to fight against Yahweh Shai. But Yahweh Shai is going to overthrow all of these nations. They're not going to be able to overthrow him. So while this place is being destroyed with the nukes, Yahweh Shai is going to return and add more to the fire with the laser beam from the chariots, man. Because that's the end all be all of this place, man. Destruction, total destruction, like the scripture just said. We just waiting on it, and we're hastening in that day. So, Lord, when this video is edifying, I'm going to close up by giving our praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakadash. Divine sales, Apostle Great Mills, on Thomas Truth, and rule well. Peace, blessings, salutations. I come out there, scattered abroad to the four corners of earth. That's serving the truth, all truth, sincerity. To I say shalom.